Okay, the recording has started. Make sure that you mute yourself so we have saved the integrity of the recording. At the end, we will have a chance for everybody to ask questions via either going through the chat or you can raise your hand and we can call on you that way. But we're going to give you some information first and then we'll do the Q&A after that, okay? Just wanted to start off with just a few of the main bullet points about finances and the Girl Scout Cookie program. As far as troops paying the council, we handled those through 3 ACH withdrawals from the troop account. So any money you receive from your parents goes into the troop account. So we can then ACH those amounts out. And we're going to take those on March 11th, March 29th, and April 12th. The 11th and the 29th are half of your initial order. And the April 12th is anything you've gotten from a cupboard through cupboard to troop transfers at the end throughout the program. We do strongly encourage girls to only take cash, or now with the new digital cookie, a credit card. Checks have a tendency to not be the best route of payment, especially from a customer to a troop. You should not accept a check from an individual customer. If you want to accept checks from your parents, that's fine. They just make it out to the troop, so it can be deposited into that troop bank account for us to ACH it out of the troop account. As far as dates that you set with your parents and your guardians for when you want them to pay you at the troop level, adjust that number so that you have enough money in your account to handle those 3 ACHs that come out. So you can determine what date you want your parents to pay you by so that then you have the money for us to pay. Very important when it comes to the financials as far as getting money from your parents. Always, always, always count the money with the parent and sign the bottom of the participation permission and receipts form. There's 5 sections there for you to take payments. You want to make sure you always have that documentation with you at the end of the program so you have all the information of those parents making those payments. Don't let them just drop it off at school or put it in your mailbox or anything like that. Make sure you sit down with them and actually count that money with them so everybody's on the same page. Excuse me. If for some reason you should have a parent or a situation where you're not going to have enough for the ACH that's coming out, we do have an outstanding balance report. It's on our website in the Cookies and More section under resources or forms. Fill that out and submit that to us just as soon as absolutely possible so that we can adjust the next upcoming ACH depending on when you submit that form to us. So that is available if you're having any issues. Always, always, always call your product program manager as soon as you have any concerns, and they can help walk you through that outstanding balance report and the whole process there of trying to get those funds for you. Okay. Other notes. If you are taking checks from your parents, make sure you give a few extra days for those, so they can clear the bank before your ACH gets taken out of your troop account. I think I covered most of the bullet points on that. So how do we keep track of these girl financials? Now in Smart Cookies is where you'll track your financials, but the only thing in there that we're tracking is girl financials. There is places for you to put troop payments, but we don't use those sections of the website from a troop level for many reasons. Primarily that your bank account information would have to be in Smart Cookies, and we're not comfortable with that at this time. So you want to make sure you put your girl transactions in those, so the report that you can pull at the end that tells her how much she owes you at each stage of the game works. So I'm going to see if I can't share my screen. Share. Screen. Go to. Okay, can you guys see the login for Smart Cookies?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, I'm going to log in. And I am going to actually mimic a troop so I can show you what you're looking at for transactions as far as a troop entering the girl transactions into Smart Cookies. the user? Yes. So from a troop level, if you're going to do your financial transaction, or when you do your financial transactions for the girls, you just go under finances, financial transactions, if my mouse will work. And then you can see where it says girl transactions. You want to click on that tab. And then you scroll down to the bottom and there's the button that says add girl transaction. You click on that and you just simply choose the girl name, what type of transaction it is. Is it a payment generally? How are they paying you, with cash, check, credit card, whatnot, when they are making that payment to you? So when the transaction date is happening and the amount of the money. So this information is everything that would be on the bottom of that participation permission and receipts form that you're filling out with them to have signatures. You'd put that same information here in add girl transaction and in Smart Cookies. You want to make any reference numbers or notes about the payment, about the parents, and maybe it's their first payment for this many cookies, or whatever kind of notes you want to keep track of to help you remember that transaction for that girl and maybe clarify it a little more for your books. So entering the transaction is just as easy as that. Just transactions, girl transaction, and enter the information. So I'm going to close that out. Once you have entered the financial transactions within the finance part, there is a report. It's a very important report that you can pull that's going to show you all of those transactions, in addition to any of the credit card transactions that have transpired with her in her digital cookie site. So you want to go to finances, go to reports, and go to current reports, and the category of finance. And there is that one that's called Girl Balance Summary. And you can go to that report, and I am going to just pull up the whole troop so I can show you just one example. So you can see that this is for Adeline Fishman, and it shows you any of the transactions that any of the cookies she's gotten from the troop. If there's any that she's given back to the troop, that would be in that middle section. And then it goes into the credit card payments, the financial transactions that have already taken place within her account. So you can see that on this, she has had one direct ship credit card order and one girl delivered credit card order. And all that information is taken into account and bubbled up into, she has 84 packages that she's financially responsible for. And that comes up to the 420, but we take out that $60 in credit card fees. So what she's going to owe you at the end of the day is that $360. And you can do this for each girl in your troop, and it's going to show you that same kind of information just for that girl. Now, see, this is Aaliyah Cockrum, and all she's done right now is taken cookies from the troop. She sold 216 packages, and that comes up to the $1,080 that she owes. So you can see as each girl is going to be individual, and it's going to show you exactly what's happening with her account. So if you ever need to know, how much they owe you, what kind of transactions have been transpiring within their account, you can always run this girl balance summary, and it's in real time. So you can see right then and there what's happening with that particular girl. So this is an invaluable report for you to use throughout the program to keep tabs on your girl financials. I want to see if there's any questions now, but we'll hold the questions for the end, because I want to go ahead and let Halsey talk a little bit about the other processes that are in that's taken into account for the financials for what am I trying to say?
For the ACHs.
Different. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you, Holly. I'm going to unshare my screen now, and I will turn it over to Halsey. Thank you, Halsey.
Yep, no problem. Okay, guys, so I just want to talk a little bit about how the 3 ACHs are calculated on kind of a high level, and then see what questions you have to see how we can help you guys with this if you have questions, and maybe talk about different reports that are in Smart Cookies that you might find helpful during the season when you're looking at the ACHs and trying to recalculate them. So ACH number 1 and number 2, these are both going to be 50% of your initial order. So what this looks like for ACH number 1, that's going to come out on March 11th. That's Monday, March 11th. It's going to be your initial order net of your troop proceeds, and then you multiply that by 50%. And then we're going to subtract out any credit card payments from Girl Delivery credit card or Booth credit card that have happened through February 24th. And that's going to help you arrive at your first ACH payment. If you are having trouble with calculating that, or you would like to talk to the finance team about how we arrive at that, or just have any questions that you want to ask the finance team, I'm going to throw our troop finance email in the chat. You can feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help. We want to make sure our leaders understand these transactions and they understand how we're calculating those numbers and that they agree with them. So that's ACH number 1. ACH number 2 is going to be the same, except it's the credit card payments that go through March 20th. So then we would have collected your full initial order net of the troop proceeds. The reason we back out those credit card payments is because if you're making a lot of sales on the credit cards, then you might not have enough money in your bank account then, because those credit card transactions are coming directly to us. We already have those funds. So it reduces the amount that you owe us then at that point, because we've already collected those credit card funds. So ACH number 3 is basically going to be what's left at the end of the season. So it's your total gross sales, less the troop proceeds. It's going to be initial order, transfers in and out for troop to covered, and then the cookie share and direct ship, and then you're subtracting out your troop proceeds. So that's your gross sales. And then less troop proceeds equals the amount due to the council. And then we're going to subtract out what you've already given us. So you've already given us ACH 1, you've given us ACH 2, direct ship goes directly to us, so you don't owe us that. If you had any cookie share via direct ship, that gets taken out. And then all of the credit card deposits are taken out because we already have those. Finally, there might be some unique adjustments. If you have an outstanding balance report that you had to fill out, we'll be adjusting for that. Or if you your troop got the fall product bonus, then we would be adding that to your third ACH. So those are kind of some unique transactions that might happen. I'm trying to catch up with our questions in the chat, and I just saw the one from Annie. The credit cards for the first ACH is going to be the Girl Delivery credit card and Booth credit card that happened through February 24th. For the second ACH, it's through March 20th. And the third would be everything else. Any questions?
Yes, thank you, Halsey. Okay. You guys can type those questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand as well.
Okay, so a couple of the questions are concerning, the first one is, when I use my digital cookie app at Boost to take credit cards, they were not showing up in ABC under Booth. She did select Booth for delivery. I did go and check, Lindsay, on your troop and digital cookie, and your troop and digital cookie was not set, or the site wasn't published. So that is why you aren't seeing those under your Booth or under your troop. It looks like they all went under one particular girl. So we do have a process that we can get that get that switched for you. So are you in Tracy's area?
Yes, Lindsay.
Okay.
Lindsay 48154.
Okay. Yeah. So just reach out to Tracy and she'll be able to help you get that all switched over.
Walk you through that.
Yeah. Megan, looking at Girl Financial Summary, what if one of those online orders was a donation that still shows a credit on her account, but she doesn't order the cookies package from me or Cupboard? Okay, looking at financials. One girl.
I can maybe just
Ah.
vocalize my question. It probably is hard. It was hard to
Okay.
type. But on
Okay.
that summary page, so we have the online orders, like if someone chose, maybe use both scenarios, like a direct ship with a donation and then a girl ship with a donation, and they pay with a credit card online, what happens to that donation box and the money, that $5? Like that doesn't go credit to her account because she's not ordering that box. Does that make sense? My question.
Kylie, I can take
Um,
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Megan, it does make sense. So those online orders as a donation, it goes into what we call a virtual cookie share. So those cookies will be donated by the council. We will take care of those. That girl does get credit for that payment. She does get credit for that box sold. She just will not physically have it. Your troop will not physically have it. We will handle it on the council side of things. So she does get credit for it, and both the box and the payment. So good question. Does that help?
I think so. So I'm sorry. I'll just one more.
Sure.
So like so what we do each week is they fill out a Google form for me and say they
Mhm.
want, a case of Thin Mints. That's 60 boxes or 12 boxes times $5, $60.
Uh-huh.
So if they come pick up cookies and I run her report and she has a credit on her account for $20 because she received credit card payment, then she's only handing me $40. And that's all correct, even if one of those
Yes.
orders had a donation, I don't have to worry about it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The next question, I have a question regarding booth payments that were taken under a girl on the first day. And then we realized the troop setup. So Heidi, are you in probably the Lincoln area?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Melissa, so I'm not sure who.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to just email Melissa's email, it'll eventually get to, or Misty's gonna pop in. You can email it to
Yeah.
Misty and we'll get it taken care of.
Yeah, Misty M. Elliott. If you just do Melissa's, I'm covering hers as well. Either way, I'll see it.
Yep.
But yeah, same
Okay.
scenario where we have to, we have to do a little work on the spreadsheet and send it in to our IBM support team. And I have heard a recent update that those are a little bit backlogged. So I've had a lot of questions come my way, like, is my troop done yet? But they will let us know when they're updated. I've asked specifically for several troops. So just bear with us on that issue and we'll get them, IBM is backlogged. So we'll get them taken care of as soon as we can.
Okay, I was just manually keeping track of it and gonna have them show a negative number, knowing it all still went into, our account. And I just didn't know if that was okay or if you guys would rather shuffle stuff, because we have them, 2 different girls were taking them that day.
Yeah, we need to get it fixed on the back end. I think it would be best to do it that way so that everything's covered, finances and everything. But yeah, once you get the info, it's not too tough. You just fill out, and I can fill in some of the information if you're having trouble. A lot of people are asking what our global ID is. Your troop global ID is in Smart Cookies. It's in the 5th column over. Can tell you that much.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.
How on Digital Cookie do you take credit card payments at booths? So Rebecca, the first thing we need to check is make sure your site is published, because if it is published, it'll be just like right there and you can see it. I will check and see if you've got your site published in Digital Cookie. Don't remember. We had the same issue. I don't remember in training. What do we have steps? Okay. Is there a place in Digital Cookie or somewhere else where we can see the actual amount to be drafted?
Kyla, I can answer that one. I just responded in the chat as well, but
okay.
So you guys can use the troop balance summary report. That's going to be under reports and then under finance for the current year. That report's going to have all the information you need to calculate the ACHs, but it's not going to tell you the exact amount of the 3 ACHs. So you'll have to look at, 50% of the initial order less credit card fees for 1 and 2, and then the third one, adjusting for direct ship and credit card fees. So you can use that report to help you get to those numbers. But if you do have any questions on how to use that report or calculating those ACHs, I threw our the Troop Finance email account into the chat there, and you can reach out to my team there and we can help you recalculate the ACH for your specific troop.
Okay, and I think we've answered all the other questions. Okay, so if you have your hand up, you can unmute and ask your question.
So this is Dory from the Lincoln area. I had a couple questions. So when you were talking about the donations, if because there's the cost share where people can buy cookies and donate them, but then there's the actual donation section. Does that also buy cookies, or does that, so for example, we had someone that gave I think $50. Does that $50 come back to our troop, or is it the cost share that we just get the 70 cents or whatever the amount is?
I would, Vicky, I don't know if you have a better answer than this, but I would say any of the donations that are at virtually purchased, all of those, like Vicky mentioned earlier, the council handles that as a donation altogether, usually to military. So I don't know if I answered your question. I don't feel
Yeah.
like I did. Vicky.
Dory, I was going to ask, okay, so like in your example for $50, where did that $50 come from? Was it an online purchase or was it in person?
So it's online, and when I looked at it in the digital cookie, so in the digital cookie, there's a place where you can actually buy cookies to donate, or
Okay.
there's the next section that says donate. And so this came in under the actual donate and not under the buying cookies to donate.
Okay, we might have to check into that one a little bit because I'm not familiar with that part. I mean, I know that there's an option to, buy a donation, but that's basically going towards cookies, but I didn't know that there was 2 different choices. So we might have to look into that one a little bit more. Can you send an email to just use Melissa's email address and it will go to Misty, and then Misty, we can look into that together.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't
I'm
familiar as well.
website wrong. So yeah, I'll send it and ask.
Okay, perfect.
So then I had a second question on smart cookies. Is one of those reports that you were talking about, or where can I see like a summary of the booth credit card sales? Because I can see how much the individual girls, their credit card sales, but I'm having trouble finding where the booth credit card sales are. Because there is a spot that under booth that says view booth credit card payments, but it comes up with nothing.
So when you go under reports, if you go to booth sales credit card transaction, that will you'll be able to see all of the transactions that are happening.
Okay, so
to clarify, Dory, there's not an option to enter booth financial transactions. So that's why you're not seeing any there.
Missy, I think she's asking about the credit card ones though that were taken through digital cookie. Is that correct, Dory?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, she should be able to see those, and that would be the report that Kyla mentioned. And I would say if they're not there on that report yet, the system hasn't caught up yet.
So it's not on that report, and these were ones taken a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So like for my girls, I can see their booth ones on their accounts, but for other girls in our council or in our group, I can't see theirs. So that's where I
Hmm.
I
Start-
think you probably didn't have your troop thing published because when
Yep.
we did that initially, it went to the girls' credit card stuff and it showed a 0 report when I went into ABC cookies. And so the might not be published correctly. Otherwise, all
Yep.
the credit card statements are going towards the girl versus
Oh.
the troop.
So
Yep.
even
So-
though we could select the booth, it wasn't published because I figured since we could select the booth.
Yeah, I did the same
Correct.
thing. I think it was silly
Yeah.
that it did that, but yeah, you have to see, you have to like
Yep.
publish the site.
But before you could select the booth, you had to make sure that you clicked the troop when you were
Yep.
taking those sales.
Oh no,
If you
you
click,
could still you could still select the booth as a girl,
Right.
which
Right.
is what
Right.
we did, what our
but
mistake
if you
was
wanted
too.
yeah, but if you want the credit to go to the troop, you have to make sure you click on troop when you're logging in.
Oh, yeah,
Otherwise, it
but when you're-
automatically goes to the girl.
But what
it's
I'm
not
saying is like, I think a
girl
lot of people
dashboard.
misunderstood
Yeah.
because when I logged in to ABC Cookies, took an order, I was able to select booth at checkout, even though I was not in my
Correct.
troop. Correct. Yeah,
Correct.
which I think was a huge misunderstanding by a lot of people, including
And-
myself.
And us as well, because we're learning
Yep.
right along with you
Yeah.
guys on
Oh,
this
yeah,
part.
yeah.
So
So that's
So-
why your reports aren't showing up on ABC.
Yep.
So would it
And-
be showing up under the individual girls then? Because it's not. I don't think.
It will
don't-
be.
Yeah. What's your
doesn't show up
troop
any
number,
different.
Dory?
20001.
Vicki, do you want to take a look at that while I answer questions?
yeah, I can take a look.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
What report can we run that will show what care to shares are purchased online and council takes care of it versus cash or girl delivery donations that the girl is responsible for? So let me see here. I know on your dashboard, but towards the bottom, it will have, it'll have like care to share, and then it'll have smart cookie. It'll break it down by that. And then if you go to the girl balance summary, that should also show you on there as well, I believe. And I'm gonna check and see if there's another report. I think there is. Oh, track cookie, yeah, okay. Let's see. So under reports, there's a track cookie share. And that report will show you who is getting cookie, or who has qualified for track cookie share. Okay. How do we mark the deposits that we need to make for booths? Lindsay, are you talking about in Smart Cookies? You don't need to do that if that's what you're asking. Let's see. Okay, in Smart Cookie, you don't need to worry about recording deposits made from your booths. just keep a record of it on your end. So when I think this is how it works. Finance can see what deposits are being made on a daily basis. So they can see what money is being put in. So just keep track of it on your end, what deposits you made. How does it work when I have a in-person donation for cookies on one girl's form? What are you meaning by that, Rebecca?
So like on my daughter's form somebody gave for donated cookies. How do I record that?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought Vicky was gonna pipe in.
Oh, Kyla, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so if somebody records on your girls' order form that they want to donate cookies, so they've paid the $5 for that box of cookies, it's kind of a okay. It's kind of like a two-part process. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to go under orders and you're going to click on track cookie share, and you're if you're the troop leader, or if I guess I need to back up for a second. Are you talking as a parent or as the troop leader?
So I'm the troop leader.
Okay, so you're in charge of the cookies.
Yes.
Okay, so as the troop leader, any girls that have those donations, you would go in and under track cookie share, you're going to mark the number of packages that they sold for donation. Okay, what that does is it gives them credit towards the patch that they can earn. If you remember, the cookie share patch is 3+ donations, and that does include those that are online. And once they reach 3, then they automatically get the patch ordered. Okay. The second step to that is if you are going to donate that package of cookies out of the inventory that your troop has, then you need to transfer a package, whatever package that you're going to use to donate to your charity. You would transfer that via a troop to girl transfer to give her credit for that package. Okay, that girl is not going to physically receive that package. You're going to set it aside for your troop, and at the end of the sale, then you'll take any donated packages and donate them to your, whatever organization you want to. The other option with that is if you don't want to use inventory for your troop, then you could just put it in as a virtual cookie share. The virtual cookie share is the same concept as those online donations. So when somebody makes an online donation, they pay for the cookies, the council delivers the cookies, your girl gets credit, goes towards her patch. That is an option. If you do that, then you've got the payment for that, but you won't see the cookies because the council will take care of those cookies. So there is 2 options, but we have it set up so that you guys can use your inventory that you have left over to make donations. So the best way is just do it as a track cookie share, so it goes towards the patch, and then just transfer a package of cookies to that girl if she doesn't, already have some in her inventory. But does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have, when I go to split booth sales, what do the 2 CS's options mean? Which one do I use to report care to shares?
Good question.
Go ahead.
I can take that one too, Kelly. So when you go to do the smart booth divider, if you're using that for your booth to divide up your cookies, the C share is the virtual cookie share. So that is the ones that we would donate. If you want to use inventory that you have, you're going to put it under track cookie share. You're going to put in the number of donations that you got, basically, and then when you divide out, you'll give credit to those, the girls that worked at the booth. And then at some point, I would kind of keep track of I mean, this is my suggestion. I would keep track of the donations that you got at the booth. And then at the very end of the sale, once you know what inventory you have left over, then do a troop to girl transfer to those girls that earned those donations, and just transfer those packages that you have left over. You could also include those packages in your counts for your booth, and then, just determine what you want to donate and include those as part of the counts for your booth, and then just set those packages aside, knowing that those are going to go for the donation. But the difference is the C share is the virtual cookie share. The track share is like the ones that you want to handle for yourself, for your troop. Does that help?
Okay.
Sorry, yes. Thank you very
Okay.
much for that
All right, you're
clarification.
welcome. Sorry.
Heidi has a couple unrelated financial questions. Okay, Heidi, you can ask away. You can either unmute
Okay, so-
or put them in the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, so my first question is the goal getter patch. If a girl is choosing just to get cookie dough, and that goal getter patch looks like on the sheet they need to sell 320 cookies or something like that, and it comes with the plush. If they don't get the plush, do they not get the patch?
No, they will still get the patch. Yep.
Okay, and we'll just order that in with the rest of our patch order
Yep.
then?
It will automatically order when they hit that level.
Okay. Okay, fabulous. And are we doing orders still in ABC, or is that going to be in the direct cookie?
Are you
Recognition orders.
are you speaking about the reward orders?
Yeah.
Yes, you will still do those in ABC Smart Cookies. So
Okay.
we just realized today that we didn't have it set up for the girls to go in and choose. So the girls will be able to go into Digital Cookie and make their choices on their prizes, but that does not automatically send it to Smart Cookies. You would still have to do the order in Smart Cookies. But there is a report that you can pull from Digital Cookie that shows you what the girls have chosen. So you could just pull that report and then use that to place your order in Smart Cookies. But
Okay. And if they give us the sheet back like they always
yeah, you
have,
could use
and
that
we
too.
can still do it that way?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So any type of ordering, whether it's for cookies or rewards, that is always done in Smart Cookies. So
Okay. And then the last one I have is I have some girls who are concerned about switching from the points to the prizes for what used to be the 1,000 Club Camp. Since looks like the range of that, the next break is at 1,200 boxes. And so they wanted me to ask about that.
Hi. Yeah, I got this one.
okay.
We are still having the 1,000 Club Camp. So that
Okay.
is still happening around the state. We already have the date set. So yeah, that didn't go away. And the points, we did revamp the reward system. Back this summer, we took a look. We did a lot of analysis on, previous years, and we kind of took guidance from GSUSA. And did some new ideas that we have heard on many surveys that girls want, more experiences and different opportunities to travel. So we really took a look at what girls said they wanted based on those surveys, and also just a deep dive in our analysis of what we've had around. We hear a lot of things like girls have done, they've been in the 1,000 Club year after year. So so we wanted to give them new opportunities, and all rewards are cumulative. So they get a reward at every level up to that 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just the messenger. So I am just trying to give them as much as I can back. So
Yeah,
I appreciate all your answers though.
Yeah, and we're always, if we find that, maybe next year we need to look at adding something that the girls felt like they missed out on. You know, we're always welcoming those, that type of feedback. So please voice that when you can.
Okay,
Sounds
we
good, thank you.
have another question. I purchased 9 boxes of cookies, one of each kind, to donate, but I just did it on digital cookie. How do I change it so that my daughter gets credit for cookie share? I don't know if we can do that.
If it's done in digital cookie, then it would be a credit card payment that would be an automatic virtual share that she gets credit for.
Right.
So it would be automatic that she gets credit for that cookie share in digital cookie. Okay.
Looks like Chandra has her hand up.
Yep.
I have a virtual cookie share question. I am in our ABC right now looking at the virtual cookie share report under orders. And I am not seeing any reflection of any of the girls' virtual cookies, all the ones that will go to council. Does that come at the end of the season? Because I'm not seeing it in their individual reports either. I'm only seeing it for the tracked cookie share from our booths. Are we supposed to be going through each individual girl? Like, for instance, I know my daughter has 2 from her auntie or whatever. Am I supposed to be going into virtual cookie share and adding those 2 that show up on her report?
Were they, I was
And
gonna
if
say,
those 2 are actually not reflecting on her report in ABC, I can see them under orders in digital cookie.
okay, so it was done through digital cookie.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But it's not reflecting on her order in ABC.
Okay, Chandra, give me a second. I'll look into ABC Smart Cookies and see if I can find something. Just a second.
Okay, thank you. And I may be in the wrong area because this is my first year using this platform, so it could be totally me too.
No, you're not alone in that. It's
You're
everybody's
not
first
alone.
year.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
learning this all together.
And Chandra, what's your daughter's name?
Genevieve Boozer,
Okay.
44461 is the troop number. But I know she's not alone in this. Some of our other girls have made mention of it too.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
I'm just wondering if there's a disconnect between digital cookie and smart cookies.
Okay. Let me do some more check in here, and we'll let somebody else ask their question. We'll see if we can find you an answer here.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Looks like there's a couple good comments in there about being sure to put your gift of sharing in the right column. And then Joanne's suggestion of surveying in the future broken down by age level, like K through 5 and then 6 through 12. So those are some good suggestions that were in the chat that I wanted to let people know about. Like we have some hands raised. Gloria, do you want to go ahead with your questions while we're looking up Chandra's information?
Sure. I've got a question for you. On the permission forms, when we mark on the bottom, you know, you've got the balance and what they're paying and then what your new balance is, that does not take into account anything that has been made by credit card payments. So what do you suggest is the easiest way for troops to actually look at that. I look at my Girl Balance summary report and you can see all the payments, but you've got to go through and actually add up all the credit card payments so you can verify it on the long form to show that it's really all been paid for. Does that make sense?
So what, Gloria, what I've been doing for my IGMs is I've been printing off the balance, Girl Balance summary report. And I've just kind of been making notes on that, the Girl Balance summary report. And then I have the parents, when they come in and pay for, give me money or they mail me in, I just make notes on the parent permission form, and then I attach the Girl Balance summary report.
Well, that's what I do too, but
yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that's what I do too. I just wonder if there isn't some way that they can make it a little easier for us to actually see what the credit card total is without having to go through and add those all up and printing every time someone makes a payment.
So I'm not positive. My screen might look a little bit different than your guys's. So product program team, help me out if this is not how it looks for individual users. But under the managed financial transactions, you can go in and you can like add filters to those transactions. So you can filter by a certain girl and then it totals those transactions at the bottom. Let me just try to share my screen here quick. So I'm not sure if this is what it looks like for you guys, but I just went in and I typed in one girl name, and all of her transactions are showing up, and I can filter these little tabs here. I can filter, so I could filter just by credit card, and then I'm getting a sum at the bottom.
Oh,
So I
okay.
know that's where I go to get those, because some of our troops have a significant amount of credit card activity and it takes way too much time to manually add those
Well,
all
that's
up.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I have some girls who'll make a payment 3 times in a week. I'll get money coming in. So I'm going, now I have to go back and figure again how many credit card payments I don't have accounted for.
Yeah, so under this,
okay,
the financial transactions, you can, these little things at the top, you can filter by the girl name and then the payment type, and that should help you with that. It just sum totals it at the bottom for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
What about the amount on the dashboard? Is that amount not accurate? Because if you go to the dashboard, it has that already summed up there.
The amounts on the dashboard we found, sometimes it's a timing thing. Sometimes they don't sync right away. So using your Girl Balance summary and the financial transactions screens are going to be your better bet as far as getting accurate information.
So it doesn't sync right away, or so if I'm doing it, a few days later, is it going to be accurate? Because that's a lot easier.
It should be,
Okay.
but you always want to back that up. When it comes to the dashboard, you always want to back that up with your reporting. Gloria, did that answer all of your questions, Gloria?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anybody else? What about in the chat, Kyla? What's going on in the chat?
Yep. Brittany asked for Troop Direct shipped orders from the council. Those are shipped to the person and we just have to distribute, correct? Troop Direct
The direct ship,
shipped, yeah,
those go to customers. No, we don't ship those.
no.
The cookie company does.
Yeah.
If I'm understanding that question right.
Yeah. Was that correct? Did we answer that, Brittany? Let's see here. It looks like Cindy answered that one. Not specific to financials, but us as girls put in requests for prizes. What is the eligibility to receive the patch for families that have multiple girls and multiple troops. Um,
The family patch is earned
So-
based on the total between all of the girls, or there's 2 girls, they have to come up with 300 packages total. And that's a manually entered patch. So each troop would get, there's a form on our website called the family patch form. I think is all it's titled. And they just fill that out and they give that to the troop cookie manager for the troop of each girl. So then that troop cookie manager knows to order that girl the family patch. So it's a manual entry. It's not automatic, and it's something the parents have to instigate with that family patch form.
and I just put that in the chat for, oh, I didn't even, okay, yeah. I also did put the collection report. I put that in the chat as well. So if anybody has, let's see, Brittany said that made sense. Okay, I think I've gotten all caught up with the chat.
Okay, Kyla, can I go back to Chandra? Chandra, in answer to your question, looking at the report that I pulled from Digital Cookie, can you tell me if those donation cookies that you're asking about were cookies that were purchased under the direct ship link, or were they online girl delivery orders?
They were direct ship.
Okay, because when I'm not seeing those on the Digital Cookie report, but let me do some more investigation. So just to clarify, you're saying that they would have been cookies that a customer purchased to be shipped to their home, and they included a donation, or it was just specifically a donation?
It was specifically a 2-box donation. I can give you the order number if you'd like.
Yeah. Can you hold on? Got to find something to write with. Give me a second.
Let me go back to the very beginning here.
Okay, Chandra, go ahead.
I'm sorry, bear with me just a second here.
No problem.
It is order number 911
Okay.
02302.
02. Okay, let me do some checking into that. And then
Thank
I'll
you.
either email you or so I might have to check with GS USA on that one.
Yep.
Donation. Okay.
And Vicky, if you want to loop me into that,
Yeah.
Chandra's in my area.
Okay, perfect.
So loop me in on that and we'll figure it out offline together.
Okay.
You can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, I just had a quick question. With the digital cookie, where I think is the online, like the actual website and not the app, the only place to track like inventory? Or I know a lot of people in my troop were wondering, and I didn't have the answers for them, so that they can keep better track of their inventory, or can they like take cash sales on the app to help keep track of their inventory too? Is there, or can you only do that on the like the web site for Digital Cookie?
You cannot take cash payments on the mobile app. It's only set up for credit card payments or Venmo or PayPal. There is a place on the girls page under My Cookies where you can enter offline sales. That would be any sales that your girls have sold on paper. Basically, it would then take that away from their inventory so they could kind of see where they're at. There isn't any place to add those cash payments, but you could at least keep track of the cookies that way. But you'd have to log in on the page on the website.
Okay.
But you just under My Cookies. And when you go into that page, up towards the top, there is a drop down box that has a couple of videos that kind of shows you how to enter those cookies, and that might be helpful
Okay.
as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Brittany, do you mind if I share my screen and show you where you can let's see, is there anywhere I need to look for girl delivery council orders in there? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. Whoops. Maybe. Oh. Okay, can you see my screen or no? Okay, you can. Good. Okay, so if you go to Boost and then my reservations, if you scroll down, you'll see virtual delivery and it'll say pending distribution. If you take this gray bar and scroll over, you'll see the 3 little dots over here. You click on that, you click on booth divider, you'll be able to then go in and select the girls that will get credit for those cookies. So I'll let you do that, Brittany, but that's how you go about doing that. So go under booth, my reservations, and then scroll down to the bottom there. Did that help? Okay, good. Let's see. Heidi asked, I totally missed this, sorry, but if there is an online order with direct shipped as cookie manager, do I need to distribute? So just kind of what I just went through. That is how you do that. On the offline sales, we don't need to include payment. No.
Okay. Any other questions in the chat, Kyla? Or any other comments that we need to share?
Let's see here. Heidi just asked, if they direct ship though, or through a girl link though, you don't have to distribute or do anything. Correct.
The cookies are shipped directly to the
Shipped direct-
customer. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just trying to help. I think what the other lady was asking was more that direction.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Let's see here. Nope, that's all so far.
Anybody got their hand raised?
Not that I
Not
can see.
seeing any. Okay.
Oh, one more, Kyla. Do credit card payments show on the initial AHI or final one? Oh, ACH. Okay. Do credit card payments show on initial ACH or the final one? Not on the initial. But the final.
Are you asking if we adjust out credit card payments on each of the
Yeah.
ACHs? We do calculate
At the-
the credit cards in the ACHs. It was like Halsey was talking at the beginning where for this first ACH, it's any credit cards through February 24th. And then it will be through, I can't remember the date she said, but
20th.
March
was it?
20th.
20th?
Yep.
20th. So they are calculated at each ACH. No problem. No problem at all.
Looks like Ashley has her hand up.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to multitask and I was purposely waiting until the end because I've talked to some of you already. But I did want to mention that for some reason I can't see what's going on in the chat. So if you've posted information or links, I don't have access to that. I didn't know if it'd be possible to also share that via either email or some other form so that So like the contact information for the financial team, like I can't see. So that would be super helpful. I don't know why, for some reason, I can't see the chat. It's yelling at me, but and the biggest question I have is just why we do things this way. As most of you already know, I've had those conversations, but which is why I really want that contact information for the financial team. But if somebody could
Tracy,
share that would be great.
Sure.
Tracy, would you make sure that she gets all the information in the chat? Please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
mainly you just need that finance email address there, Ashley.
Yes, so that way I can reach out to them and ask them my slew of questions.
Actually, Halsey, do you have that right handy that you could just tell her what it is? Isn't it troopfinance@girlscouts.org?
Yep, it's troopfinance@girlscoutsnebraska.org.
I don't have a way to write it down right now
Okay,
since I
that's
just
fine.
got everybody into the car.
Tracy, if you could email her that, you can also send
Yeah.
her my contact information as well, and we'll be sure to touch base.
I can do that.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
And the only reason I ask, and I ask a lot of questions, I'm very new this year. This is all new to me. But in my job, I deal with numbers every day. And it seems like there's a better way that we could be doing this that's easier for everybody. So I just have a ton of questions that I think maybe a new perspective can help shed some light and maybe make it easier for everybody. Hopefully, that's my end result after asking all of these questions. So,
Okay, yes, that's great. We appreciate insight from everyone and are happy to take suggestions and take a look. We obviously want the process to be as smooth as possible for everyone. So we will touch base.
thank you very much.
Mascot. Oh, sorry.
Looks like Chandra has her hand up.
Sorry, I have one more question. I am looking under my orders under Troop Direct Ship Orders, and I'm seeing about, I don't know, 45 or so boxes, maybe 55 boxes that are pending distribution. Now, these are orders that were ordered under our Troop link to be directly shipped, but it does not allow me to distribute them on this particular page. And under my booth page, it also does not allow me to distribute them. Could you tell me where I could find that, please?
Okay, Kala, you want to cover it? That's what you were showing before.
Yep. Hold on just a sec here. Let me, oops. I'm just gonna mimic you, and then I'll share my screen here.
It's not showing under my reservations. Only my virtual deliveries are.
We'll give her a second, Chandra, and she'll pull it up so we can see what you're seeing.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you're gonna go under booths and then my reservations. And then you'll scroll down and then where you'll see virtual delivery. This gray box right here, you just slide it over.
That's not the one I'm talking about, ma'am.
Not the one, okay.
That one we know how to distribute, and I can see the
Okay.
distribution there. Will you go under the orders tab at the top so I can show you? Go all the way down to direct ship orders, Troop Direct Ship.
Direct ship order, okay.
Those are all pending distribution. Now, these were ordered under our Troop link, and they need to be distributed to the girls. But it does not, I'm not seeing on the right-hand side.
Okay, so on the right-hand side, the three little dots right here. You
Maybe
can
it's just
click
not
on,
allowing me to.
yeah, so you
It's
can
not
either,
allowing you to click on it?
I cannot like get the screen to go to the right to see the three dots. Does that make sense? Like I'm looking at my
That
screen
makes
and I
sense.
have it scrolled all the way to the right and it is not showing me the 3 dots. I see the total, I see the little blue column at the very right-hand side, but there's no 3 dots there for me.
That's the
That's
same for me
Sandra,
too.
I've had this
We have
happen
the same
before.
issue.
Okay, glad I'm not
Sounds-
alone.
Sounds like Tracy
Is
had.
Kyla?
Is the gray
Uh,
bar rolled all the way to the right? Like, are
Yes,
you?
it is.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, there-
that,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with the, because it's just like, I can
It's
move
just a
this
separate
gray
box,
box
yeah.
and, yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's weird. I don't know. Because that, you just click on the 3 dots and then you can either credit to a girl or credit to the troop.
Right, generally. But
Yeah.
I got no
I'm
3
not
dots. So is that an update on my end? Is that an update on your end? Just wondering.
I
If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, there's a blue button that says distribute orders to girls.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Does that work?
Yeah, if you. Yes.
Let me see. Yes, that one does work. Okay,
Okay.
so that'll be
That
my
would be
workaround.
another way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you so much. Because I'm like,
Great
work
what?
question,
in the hell?
Chandra. Great
Thank you.
question.
Okay.
Let's see.
We got through that.
3 dots.
Looks like I'm probably not going to pronounce the name correctly, but Shreya? Shreya?
Yeah, Shreya.
Yeah,
So
beautiful name.
yeah. Oh, thank you. So we're first years doing this. So I just want to better understand the timeline. Just at the beginning, you had said, March 17th is what I had heard was the end of sale. But you said that in the last ACH withdrawal, it's any credit card sales beyond that. So does that mean we can still keep selling cookies, or what happens after March 17th? Can you just explain that to me, please?
Yeah, so you can sell cookies after, you can still sell cookies after March 17th. After March 17th, you just can't pick or place a planned order after March 17th. So yeah, you can still keep selling cookies that you have on hand and keep selling them until you don't have any more, so that
After,
you know,
I believe that after the 17th, you can't take credit cards anymore either.
I was just going to add that myself
Yeah.
as well. Yes.
yeah, that's right.
So you can continue to sell on a cash basis, but you can't take credit cards after the 17th, or you can't get any additional cookies after the 17th. That answer your question?
And we can't, yeah, and we can't do any booths after the 17th either. Is that right?
You could.
Yep.
Could. As a way to sell.
Yeah.
Officially no, but yeah, we always want to we always want troops to, you know, sell all of their remaining inventory and not be stuck with cookies to pay for. So if you have to set up a table or a booth, you know, here and there, always work with your product program manager just so they're aware. But you know, it's not official, but we still allow it type of thing. But yeah, we always want troops to be
Very
able to,
helpful.
yeah, get rid of all their cookies. So, you know, it's not financially on the troop as an expense.
Okay. Any other questions? We've gone a little bit over our hour, but that's good. We've had some great conversations, some great questions. You guys have been very, very good to provide us some really good feedback. So we appreciate that.
Gloria just asked, you just can't use your booth divider if the booth is after the 17th. Correct.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, and then your girls wouldn't get credit for those cookies sold either. So you basically would just be selling your cookies so the troop wouldn't financially be responsible for those cookies.
Because the recognition, the rewards orders go in on the 18th, so
Yep.
any sales after that wouldn't count. If that makes sense.
It does, but can I ask a follow-up on that? So what if a girl had ordered, let's say 100 packages, and by that 17th, we've allocated the 100 in the smart cookie to her, but she didn't sell 100, she sold 60 boxes so far. So I have that cash, but the other 40 boxes, she's gonna keep selling after March 17th. So I don't have the cash for it, but she has been credited for those packages on smart cookies already. So is that allowed to do that? Like to get to
Yes.
be
Yeah.
aligned with the rewards so that
Yeah.
she does get credit for the
Yeah.
whole 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
because the parent has signed for those cookies, so the parent is financially responsible for those cookies. So, and
Yep,
then
sounds
you
good.
know,
Thank
the last ACH does not come out until April, so they still have a few weeks after the sale to keep selling.
Yeah. In fact, the second ACH doesn't even come out till March 29th. So we've got those
Mhm.
two ACHs
Yep.
still coming up after the 17th.
And you
Yep.
can still, and just keep working with that parent, to have her turn in money as often as she can when she gets some of those cookies sold, if she hasn't sold them all by the 17th.
Mhm.
Yep.
Product program team. And I'm so sorry, I missed like the first 10 minutes or so. Have we talked about it's not called the cookie collection form anymore. What's that called again?
Yep,
It's
the
a new
outstanding
name.
balance report. Yes.
Yes.
Joanne, we covered that at the
Yep.
beginning.
And I
Okay,
did
okay,
put that in
just
the
checking.
chat.
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Okay,
You're
okay, thank you so much. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, anything else? Great questions, everybody. Great feedback. We appreciate your time this evening. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording if I can do this. Stop recording. Stop.